Friends, the Greenland crisis is deepening. US President Donald Trump is repeatedly threatening to occupy Greenland. Just think about it. One NATO country is talking about occupying the territory of another NATO country. Greenland, as we know, is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. It is a self-governing territory within Denmark. Greenland's foreign policy, defense, and currency are handled by Denmark. As far as domestic matters are concerned, such as education, health, natural resources, and local governance, these are controlled by Greenland itself. So remember this, Greenland is a part of the Kingdom of Denmark, but it is largely self-governing. The people of Greenland alone have the right to decide their future. Greenland is not Denmark's property that can be sold. But the United States is eager to buy Greenland. US President Donald Trump is even saying that if Greenland does not agree, it will be forcefully occupied. Because of Greenland's strategic importance, Trump wants to seize Greenland at any cost. You see, Greenland is located in the Arctic region. Due to climate change, the ice here is melting. New sea routes are opening up. These routes are shorter than existing sea routes. This can significantly reduce shipping time and costs. Then, because of the melting ice, Greenland's natural resources are becoming more accessible. This is where America's interest in Greenland begins. Trump's extraordinary claims that Greenland is critical for America's security come from here. Trump has openly started saying that if a peaceful deal does not happen with Greenland, the United States will explore other methods. We all know what those other methods are. When Trump says that Greenland will be ours, either the easy way or the hard way, we all know what the hard way means. First, the United States will negotiate with Greenland. Some economic incentives will be offered. If that does not work, diplomatic pressure will be exerted. Greenland will be intimidated. Threats of using force will be given. Even after this, if Greenland does not agree, then we already know what will happen. The United States will carry out a military intervention inside Greenland. Then it will justify it in some way. Some kind of crisis will be manufactured in Greenland. After that, the United States will try to show the whole world that it is intervening there as a protector. This is not something new. This has happened many times before. Now the possibility of this happening in Greenland is also increasing. This is because Trump's language and intentions indicate that the United States is not interested in renting or leasing Greenland. It is also not interested in cooperating with Greenland on Arctic security. Nor is it interested in jointly exploring Greenland's natural resources. Cooperation, renting, or leasing are not of interest to the United States at all. The United States actually wants to own Greenland. It wants to acquire it by any means. It wants to bring Greenland under its control. This is because the United States is nervous about the growing influence of Russia and China in the Arctic. Russia already has a strong presence in the Arctic. China also sees itself as a near-Arctic power. Russia and China are investing in Arctic shipping routes. They are investing in energy resources and strategic infrastructure. So the United States fears that Russia and China are gaining military and economic leverage in the Arctic. They are increasing their presence close to US territory. Look at Greenland's location. It is situated between North America and Europe. It is very close to the United States. So if rivals succeed in increasing their influence in Greenland, it will not be good for US security. As we know, the United States is a geographically blessed country. It is very difficult to invade. There is the Atlantic Ocean to the east and the Pacific Ocean to the west. Any rival would have to cross thousands of kilometers of water to invade the United States. That would be extremely expensive and risky. So the United States has natural barriers on both sides. Even if a rival power tries to cross these barriers, the strong US Navy and Air Force will be ready to respond. They will stop threats far away from US territory. If we talk about borders, the United States' neighbors are not hostile. There is no invasion threat to the United States from Canada or Mexico. So because of its geography, the United States enjoys strategic depth. That is why, in the case of America, danger stays far away from home. Internal chaos due to bad policies is a different matter. Here, I am talking about external threats. The threat of invasion by rival powers remains far away from home. That's why you do not see conflicts and wars on US soil. The United States may be involved in conflicts around the world, but it manages to avoid conflict on its own soil. Now, Greenland breaks this American comfort zone. This is because it is very close to the American mainland. The United States has a military base in Greenland. The United States has deployed radar and missile early warning systems there. So when it comes to surveillance, early warning systems and monitoring rival powers, Greenland is perfect for the United States. Therefore, if rival powers gain influence in Greenland, these US advantages will shrink. Trump fears this very thing. He fears that Russia and China might break this American shield. He fears that they might gain leverage in Greenland. He fears that Greenland, which currently acts as a buffer for the United States, might turn into a front line. He fears that the value of protection provided by two oceans to the United States may decrease. That is why the United States always tries to keep potential adversaries as far away as possible. It tries to ensure that external threats do not come close to the United States. This is the very reason why the Monroe Doctrine was introduced by the United States. The goal was to keep hostile powers away from the Western Hemisphere, so that the US influence could be maintained in the Western Hemisphere. The United States fears that if rival powers like Russia and China succeed in increasing their economic presence in the region by financing infrastructure and controlling supply chains, it will be a major threat. This is because economic presence sooner or later turns into strategic presence. Then Russia and China could influence Greenland's politics. They could control new sea routes, energy and mineral resources, and military corridors as well. This could crack America's safety wall. This is the reason why the United States is reacting very aggressively and strongly on the Greenland issue. Now you can understand America's Greenland anxiety. You can understand Donald Trump's strong claims. However, Greenland has strongly rejected Trump's statements. It has clearly said that Greenland is not for sale, nor should it be taken by force. Greenland is for Greenlanders. It is for the people who live there. All 5 major political parties in Greenland have issued a joint statement in Parliament. They have clearly said that Greenland does not want the United States or any other foreign power to decide its future. Greenland has the right to self-determination. Any kind of takeover without Greenland's consent would be illegal. International law does not allow the violation of Greenland's sovereignty. We are living in very dangerous times. Powerful countries have started openly discussing the occupation of another country's territory. Whether it is Russia capturing parts of Ukraine, or China talking about reunifying Taiwan, or the United States forcefully removing governments it does not like. Then, under the excuse of security, the US is talking about occupying another country's territory. Through this, powerful countries are sending a very dangerous message. Questions are being raised. Are we witnessing a return of colonial thinking? Will powerful countries change borders at will? Will they go to any extent to meet their interests? Because clearly, this seems to be happening. The dangerous part is that powerful countries are not facing much resistance. There is no one to stop them. Statements, condemnation, and criticism are not capable of stopping powerful countries. The United Nations is already powerless. Because of all these reasons, the risk of conflict and escalation is increasing. With each passing day, we are moving closer to a third world war. The main principle of the post-World War II order is that Sovereignty must be respected. Borders should not be changed through force. This is exactly what Greenland is repeating. European countries are also supporting Greenland. Countries like France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Poland, and the UK are talking about respecting Greenland's sovereignty. Denmark has warned that such threats can break NATO's unity. As always, the United States does not see its own contradiction this time either. The US itself says that NATO exists to protect sovereignty. It exists to defend allies. Forget defending. Now one NATO member, the United States, is talking about occupying the territory of another NATO member, Denmark. In such a situation, NATO's collective security becomes meaningless. This makes America's moral authority as NATO's leader meaningless. Russia and China are closely observing this matter. Neither country is openly supporting Trump, nor are they strongly opposing him. This is because neither country wants escalation with the United States right now. But everyone knows that if NATO's unity weakens, Russia and China will be the biggest beneficiaries. So it would be better to resolve the matter through dialogue. Greenland's sovereignty should be respected. Arctic security goals should be achieved through cooperation, not control. Harsh rhetoric against allies should be avoided. NATO should be protected from fracturing. The rules-based order should be protected from collapsing. Because if one country does this, others will follow. Then it will become normal. International law will lose all meaning. Everything will be decided by power alone. What happens in Greenland in the coming time will decide what kind of world we have chosen for our future.